Or confying, anything slow.
Ooh, yeah.
Slathering it in oil.
Don't touch the thing after doing that, people will go insane.
We washed our hands.
We wash our hands.
Not.
All right, so we are back.
Oh, and we're here today in the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen to answer your questions about chicken.
Yep, all the chicken questions.
Chicken questions.
Chicken questions.
How to trim it, prep it, wash it the right way. Don't wash your chicken.
Wash it never.
Yeah, don't wash your chicken.
Don't rinse your meat. I
rinse
don't
the meat.
get it. It's like...
I know. All you're doing when you rinse off a chicken is like, as far as a foodborne disease.
When you wash your chicken, honestly, you're sending like chicken water like everywhere throughout your kitchen. Pat it dry, absolutely pat it dry inside it out.
Paper towels, dry it off. And if you have time, if you're like really on one, salt it, let it air dry, uncover in the fridge overnight, which will season it through and through and also dry out the skin, which will get extra crispy.
You could season it 24 hours ahead.
Yeah.
You'd be stoked if you did so.
Yeah.
How do you cook chicken without the gamey taste?
Chicken shouldn't be gamey.
Yeah.
If your chicken's gamey,
Maybe you're making deer instead?
Maybe it's not chicken.
Yeah.
How can I properly cook chicken thighs? You want to talk about cold pan?
Yeah.
The cold pan
and
method.
the skin
TM.
down.
I'm a big fan of the cold pan method, which means taking your chicken thighs, seasoning them with salt, and putting them in a cast iron skillet, skin side down, cold.
The reason being that when you allow the chicken and the chicken skin to heat up gradually with the skillet, it doesn't contract. So it allows it to basically stay in full contact with the skillet.
This will take a long process.
It could be like 20 minutes, but 20, 25. Cook it 90% of the way through on the skin side the whole entire time. And that last little minute, turn it over.
How can you barbecue chicken to get great grill marks flavor without drying it out? Grill pan. Use a grill pan. I mean, that's...
Wait, how can you get barbecue chicken to get the great grill marks and flavor without it drying out? I don't understand the question. Why does it have to be dry? You can get the marks are just from the heat on the iron grate. Doesn't necessarily mean you're drying out your chicken.
But if you want grill marks, just use a grill pan. I think this person's trying to say like I don't have a grill and I want like grilling quality chicken.
Oh, okay.
I usually do like grill pan.
Definitely do that.
What is the best way to fry chicken? So because frying is a very high heat method of cooking chicken, you want to make sure that the chicken is insulated. You would never want to just drop a boneless, skinless chicken breast or chicken thigh straight into fryer oil because it would really dry out the outside.
Don't do it.
Either brining it or dredging it in buttermilk, which helps tenderize it, and then getting it into some sort of crispy coating exterior. That could be panko, it could be breadcrumbs, could be crushed up cornflakes.
Insulating it and creating a barrier that's itself is going to become crispy and delicious. So
It's a win-win.
Yeah, and then the inside is juicy and appealing.
What to look for when you're buying chicken.
I like to get organic chicken.
It should look together. You know what I mean? If it's like smashed down and wings akimbo, like that's not a good sign.
I'm always willing to spend a little more money on
You usually
on
get
meat.
what you pay for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, is it like what to look for? Like what are the words on the package?
Don't be too obsessed with the language on the label, I would say.
I don't really like how they advertise chicken as, oh, it's all vegetarian fed.
Yeah.
Like chickens aren't vegetarians. They're little dinosaurs that eat everything. The meat and the eggs are better when they do have a diet that is grubs and they eat grass and they eat all kinds of stuff.
Also air chilled, that's a big thing because, you know, non-air chilled chickens are basically submerged in kind of like a bleach kind of solution immediately after processing. So they kind of like, they come into contact with some nasty stuff.
No odor.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
If you really can, get to know a farmer or a farmer's market, someone there who has fresh chickens, pasture-aged chickens.
For sure. What's the best way to cook chicken in a small apartment?
In the oven.
Yeah, in the oven.
I think the whole roasted bird.
Yeah.
In a small apartment, I don't want to cook anything stovetop because it's smelly and it's smoky and it's splattery. But a whole roasted chicken that you set and forget
Beautiful.
Smells delicious. It's very hands-off.
Sometimes the texture of my chicken turns out mealy. What is happening here?
See, these questions remind me of like why I was bad at tests in school.
Sounds overcooked to me.
Yeah, I mean...
Sounds overbraised.
I mean, mealy is like a hard texture to describe chicken with.
A lot of that has to do, I think, with how the chicken was raised, but
Yeah.
even sometimes more importantly, how it was slaughtered and treated. If the blood isn't flushed out of the body, sometimes it can give it that gamey, real, like chickeny kind of weird.
When you get really low quality chicken, I'm not going to say any brand names. Oh, Molly!
You know
right
what
on the
I
edge
mean.
there. Yeah, if you've got a poor quality chicken that was like pumped full of antibiotics and like
And never moved.
I feel like sometimes that meat just has an unpleasant texture.
What cuts are best for the right types of cooking?
A chicken breast is great for poaching.
Whole chicken, like, you know, roast, or, you know, maybe like poach for like a, you know, like a stock or for soup or something.
Right.
Absolutely.
Definitely, yes.
Bone-in chicken breast is great for roasting also.
Skin side down roasting and basting.
Yep.
I also love roasting chicken halves or spatchcocking chicken, just to basically open it up, cutting out the backbone, laying it flat. From there, you can either halve it, so you have like nice manageable halves for doing kind of a direct contact.
You can do that in
you know,
the
skillet
grill.
kind of method.
For the dark meat, I love, it's not as popular here in the kitchen, in the test kitchen, but whole legs where the drumsticks and the thighs are attached. I love that for braising.
Wings, I don't know that I have to convince anybody that chicken wings are awesome.
The oyster. These are the two most delectable parts of the chicken. They're called the oyster, and it's right at the top of the thigh. It's this little lump in the rump. So most people leave it behind when they carve a chicken, which is when you swoop in and then take a little snick snack.
I feel like you can kind of make it work no matter what.
It's like the most versatile protein.
Don't limit yourself. What's something you can do to make chicken skin less gross but not waste it? Chicken skin's
Crisp
delicious.
it up, yeah, just crisp it up.
Yeah.
Or buy boneless, skinless chicken.
If you're talking about like a stock, you know, or soup, there's nothing wrong with having chicken skin in with the chicken that's going into the pot, because it's going to give some flavor and body to that stock.
I mean, you don't have to eat it after.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to eat it.
It's not a
after,
waste.
but
You're
it's gonna
taking the
give
flavor
something.
out,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I'm super paranoid about salmonella, so I always overcook the chicken. Any tips for beating this? Therapy.
Buy a thermometer. Just cook chicken a lot. I feel like after a while you develop this kind of intuition and you know based off of touch, feel,
Yeah,
it's
like
ready.
the thigh joint,
Yeah.
the leg joint should pop.
You're gonna get salmonella either way, I feel like.
I was gonna say you're
If it's
probably
there,
never
you're
gonna
get it.
Oh, if it's there.
Present.
My therapeutic approach would be to go to Ipuku in Berkeley, California, and order off of their chicken tartare menu.
Yeah.
And that you'll walk out, you'll have a delicious meal, and you'll never worry about salmonella ever again.
Great.
Mom, if you're watching this, I'm so
Reading.
sorry.
Difference between wet and dry brines effect on the chicken. Like, so like a wet brine would be like, let's say like, okay, like a buttermilk brine on like fried chicken, right? Or it could be like a yogurt marinade kind
Right.
of, that's like somewhere in the middle. Whereas like a dry brine is more like salt plus, you know, like
Rabbit
possibly
with, yeah.
sugar or other seasonings and spices going onto the chicken.
Wet brines are great for seasoning and helping to retain moisture, and they just take time. A wet brine where you have like a salt, sugar, water mixture where you're putting the chicken in that, it needs to sit at least 24 hours,
At least 24 hours,
48,
for sure.
for all of that to really permeate the flesh. That's why a dry brine, if it's really concentrated, you can get away with like a much shorter.
Within, like, I'd say 12, 16 hours, you could
Yeah.
see the difference just on the skin alone.
Yeah.
Once you do a wet brine on chicken, it's very hard to get the skin crispy unless you're doing fried,
Right.
I would say. A dry brine is gonna, you know, lead to crispier skin overall, and is frankly a lot more manageable.
Right.
Yeah.
What he said.
How to reheat chicken breast without making it turn to rubber? That is the age-old question.
Don't reheat it if you can avoid it, and if
Right,
you have to
use it in
reheat
a
it, just like
salad.
low oven, 300.
Right.
You know.
Microwave's probably not the answer, or even just like a gentle steam or like a little.
Oh, a gentle steam. That's a good idea.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually would try to avoid heating it at all and just
really?
like let it come back to room temperature. Like once you heat it really to hot, you are going to cook it more. And chicken breast there's a very, very narrow window of time between juicy and delicious and dry and rubbery.
I say don't do it. I say eat it cold.
Just eat it cold.
It's delicious cold.
It's delicious cold. Figure out, like, make a tasty salad, make something like that. As soon as you start getting into reheating territory, you're never going to be able to get it hot again without continuing to cook it.
And overcooking it.
What if somebody does want to reheat their thing?
No. They can't.
That's the answer.
It's just, I mean, you just can't do it. I mean, probably if you put it in a sous vide bag and like put it in an immersion circulator for like
100 degrees.
Yeah, then you're like right in the danger zone, and then good luck with that.
But
also.
then at least your chicken's warm. But
Yeah.
now you're sick. And
Are you happy now? Are you happy? Your whole family's sick. You made your whole family sick because you need to eat hot chicken. Eat the cold chicken.
Oh, Jesus.
There are no more questions.
Oh, my God.